The phone buzzed like a hornet trapped in my pocket, yanking me from the edge of sleep. I fumbled for it in the dark, the blue glow searing my eyes as I squinted at the screen. 1:07 a.m. A text from Emily's number. My heart stuttered, not because it was late, but because the words weren't hers. She's occupied now, she'll call later. Sent from her phone, but the arrogance in that phrasing, the casual dismissal, it reeked of him. Marcus, her boss. The man who'd been mentoring her through late-night meetings and weekend retreats. My stomach twisted, bile rising hot and bitter in my throat. I sat up in our empty bed, the sheets cold where she should have been, and stared at the message until the letters blurred. Betrayal wasn't a word anymore. It was a blade, slicing through the fragile trust I'd built over 8 years of marriage. I paced the bedroom, the hardwood floor creaking under my bare feet like accusations. The room smelled of her, lavender lotion and faint vanilla from her shampoo, mocking me with memories of mornings tangled in each other. How many nights had she slipped out for work emergencies? How many times had I swallowed my doubts, chalking it up to her ambition, her drive to climb the corporate ladder at that sleek tech firm? Marcus, with his tailored suits and predatory smile, had always lingered in the background like a shadow. I'd met him once at a company gala, his handshake too firm, his eyes lingering on Emily's neckline a second too long. "She's a star," he'd said, clapping me on the back. Now those words echoed like a taunt. Anger surged first, a red-hot wave that made my fists clench until my nails bit into my palms. I imagined storming into his office, shattering that smug face against his mahogany desk. But underneath, humiliation gnawed like acid, picturing them together, her laughter for him, her body arching under his touch. Heartbreak followed, a hollow ache that dropped me to my knees by the window. The city lights blurred through tears I hadn't realized were falling. Emily, my Emily, who I'd met in a crowded bookstore, bonding over dog-eared thrillers. We'd built a life, the cozy apartment in Brooklyn, dreams of kids someday, whispered promises in the dark. Was it all a lie? Denial crept in as I reread the text, searching for excuses. Maybe her phone died, and Marcus was just relaying a message. Maybe it was a group project, innocent overtime. But the timestamp mocked me, 1 a.m. on a Friday. I grabbed my laptop, fingers trembling as I logged into our shared iCloud. Her location, not the office but a high-end hotel in Midtown. The dot pulsed like a heartbeat, confirming what my gut screamed. I slammed the laptop shut, the crack echoing in the silent room. Resentment boiled over. Resentment at her for straying, at him for poaching, at myself for being blind. I couldn't sleep. The clock ticked mercilessly toward dawn, each second amplifying my obsession. Fantasies spun wild, confronting her at the door, her face crumbling in guilt. Or tailing them, gathering proof like some pulp detective. Doubt whispered too. What if I was wrong? What if this destroyed us unnecessarily? But the text burned in my mind, a digital scar. By morning, cold resolve settled in, numbing the raw edges. I wouldn't explode, I'd plan. Revenge wasn't about rage anymore. It was about reclaiming control. Emily stumbled in at 7:30 a.m., her makeup smudged, hair tousled in that post-sex glow I'd once cherished. She froze in the doorway, keys jingling softly. "Alex, you're up early." Her voice was light, too casual, but her eyes darted, guilty. "Couldn't sleep," I said, forcing a smile that felt like glass shards. I poured coffee, the steam rising like my suppressed fury. "Late night." She shrugged, slipping off her coat. "Yeah, the project's killing me. Marcus needed revisions on the pitch deck." She leaned in for a kiss, but I turned, handing her the mug instead. Her lips brushed my cheek, and I fought the urge to recoil. "Sounds intense." My tone was neutral, but inside, questions raged. How long? Why him? Was I not enough? I watched her sip, her throat working, and imagined choking the truth out. But no patience. Suspense built in the silence, her fidgeting with her phone, me pretending to scroll emails. That afternoon, while she napped, exhausted from her work, I dug deeper. Her phone was password protected, but I'd seen her enter it enough times. 0714, our anniversary. Irony twisted my gut as I unlocked it. Texts from Marcus. Can't wait to see you tonight. Last time was incredible. Emojis that made my vision tunnel. Hearts, flames. Photos too blurred but damning. Her in lingerie I'd bought sent to him. Humiliation peaked. A wave that left me breathless on the bathroom floor, dry heaving into the sink. Guilt flickered then, not hers, mine. Had I driven her away? Long hours at my own job as a graphic designer. Weekends buried in freelance. But no, this was on her. On them. Obsession took root. I created a burner account, friend Marcus on LinkedIn under fake name. His profile screamed entitlement. Yacht photos, TEDx talks on disruptive leadership. I researched his life. Divorced twice, whispers of affairs in company reviews. Predator in pinstripes. By evening, we sat across the dinner table, pasta cooling untouched. Everything okay? She asked, fork twirling aimlessly. Her eyes, those hazel pools I'd drowned in, now hid secrets. Fine, I lied, my voice steady. Just thinking about us. Subtle probe testing waters. She reached for my hand. I love you, Alex. You know that. Do I? The words lodged in my throat. Instead, I squeezed back, masking the resentment. Love you too. The lie tasted like ash, but it bought time. That night, as she slept beside me, her breathing even, I lay awake, plotting. Revenge wouldn't be violent. That was too crude, too traceable. It had to be surgical, exposing him, ruining her career perch without touching her directly. Moral conflict gnawed. Was I becoming the monster? But the text replayed, fueling the fire. The next day I called in sick, tailed her to work. The office tower loomed, glass reflecting my distorted face. I waited in a coffee shop across the street, binoculars hidden in my bag. At lunch they emerged together. Marcus's hand on her lower back, her laugh tinkling like betrayal's soundtrack. They ducked into a nearby bistro, heads close over menus. Jealousy clawed, but I snapped photos, evidence stacking like ammunition. Inner turmoil peaked as I drove home, rain sluicing the windshield like tears. Fantasies shifted. Not just exposure but something deeper. Hack his emails. Spread rumors. Doubt crept. What if she chose him? Heartbreak resurfaced, a sob escaping in traffic. But resolve hardened. I'd make them pay, slow and deliberate. Weeks blurred into calculated moves. I befriended a coworker of hers, Sarah, at a casual happy hour Emily dragged me to. Over beers, Sarah spilled. Marcus is a shark. Sleeps his way to the top. Confirmation, but it stung. Emily noticed my distance. Our conversations laced with unspoken accusations. You're different, she said one night, curled on the couch. The TV droned some thriller, mirroring my life. Am I? I replied, eyes on the screen. Tension thickened, her shifting uncomfortably. Is there someone else? Her voice cracked, projection at its finest. I laughed, bitter. Noam. That's your department. The words slipped, a crack in my facade. He paled. What? Nothing. I retreated to the bedroom, heart pounding. Close call, suspense mounting, my plans still embryonic. Obsession consumed me. I hired a PI, draining savings. Reports came. Hotel receipts, late-night calls. Proof piled, but so did guilt. Emily wasn't evil. She was ambitious, trapped in his web maybe. Marcus, though, layered villainy. Charming exterior, manipulative core. His ex-wives' stories online hinted at coercion, emotional abuse. One evening the dam broke. Emily confronted me in the kitchen, phone in hand. Why are you checking my location? Denial faltered. Because I know Em. Know what? Her voice rose, defensive. The text. From him. On your phone. She crumpled, tears flowing. It was a mistake. Is powerful. I didn't want to lose my job. Heartbreak mingled with rage. So you lost us instead. She sobbed, reaching for me. Please, Alex. Forgive me. But forgiveness felt like surrender. I walked out, rain soaking me as I wandered streets, mind racing. Revenge crystallized. Not just ruin him professionally. Make it personal. Expose his pattern anonymously. But doubt lingered. Would it destroy her too? As part one ended, tension simmered. I returned home late, Emily asleep. Slipping into bed, I whispered to the dark. This isn't over. Foreshadowing the storm. The apartment felt like a pressure cooker. Every glance between us charged with unspoken threats. Emily's apologies came in waves. Flowers on the counter, tentative touches in bed. But they rang hollow, echoes of a love eroded by deceit. I played the part of the wounded husband, nodding through her pleas, while inside, cold resolve sharpened like a blade. Revenge wasn't impulsive anymore. It was a blueprint drawn in sleepless nights. I'd expose Marcus not just to the company but to the world. His affairs, his manipulations, his buried skeletons. But moral grayness haunted me. Was I justified or just vengeful? Destroying him might shatter her career. Collateral damage in my war. I started small, subtle hints to build suspense. Anonymous emails to HR, vague at first. Concerned about inappropriate relationships in leadership. No names, just seeds of doubt. Emily grew paranoid, checking her phone obsessively, jumping at notifications. Work's tense, she'd say over dinner, her fork scraping the plate like nails on chalkboard. I feigned concern. What's wrong? Watching her squirm, guilt etching lines on her face. Inner conflict raged as I delved deeper. The PI uncovered more. Marcus had a history. Lawsuits settled quietly, women silenced with NDAs. One, a former assistant, lived nearby. I met her in a dim cafe, rain pattering the windows like Morse code warnings. He's a monster, she whispered, hands trembling around her latte. Charms you, then controls you. Threatens your job if you resist. Her story mirrored Emily's excuses, layering complexity. Was Emily a victim? Resentment softened toward her, hardening against him. But obsession pushed me. I'd compile a dossier, leak it to media. Dialogue sharpened the tension. One night, Emily cornered me in the living room, lamps casting long shadows. Alex, talk to me. You're scaring me. Scaring you? Echoed, voice low. How do you think I felt reading that text? She flinched. It was once. A mistake. Once. I pulled out printed screenshots, slamming them on the coffee table. Her face drained of color. How? Does it matter? Suppressed rage bubbled. You humiliated me. Tears streamed. He said it'd advance my career. I was stupid. Pity flickered, but revenge's pull was stronger. And now, I'll quit. We'll move past this. But I couldn't. Not yet. As she slept, I hacked his LinkedIn, simple phishing, a fake endorsement email. Access granted. Messages to other women, patterns of predation. Guilt gnawed. Hacking was illegal, morally gray. Was I better than him? Doubt paused me, fingers hovering over delete. But humiliation replayed, fueling forward. Suspense built slowly. Marcus called Emily more, his voice tinny through the phone. We need to talk. She paced, whispering denials. I eavesdropped from the hall, heart thundering. Foreshadowing loomed. He suspected leaks. I escalated. Contacted journalists anonymously, sending snippets. Tech mogul's dark side. Responses came cautious, probing for more. Fear crept in. What if traced back? Prison. Losing Emily forever. Nightmares plagued, her leaving me for him, or worse, my plan backfiring. Characters deepened. Emily wasn't just betrayer. She was conflicted, torn between ambition and regret. I never stopped loving you, she confessed one dawn, sheets tangled. Her touch stirred old flames, but resentment doused them. Marcus, too, not cartoon villain. A call I intercepted. Him to a friend, voice weary. Divorces broke me. Work's all I have. Motivations emerged. Loneliness masking abuse. But justification. Well, his actions demanded reckoning. Pacing intensified. Weeks later, the first article dropped. Allegations of harassment at tech firm. No names but whispers spread. Emily's office buzzed. She came home frantic. HR's investigating. Marcus is furious. Good, I muttered, masking satisfaction. Her eyes widened. Did you? Innocence feigned. What? Tension peaked at a company event I insisted on attending. The ballroom glittered, champagne fizzing like nerves. Marcus approached, smile predatory. Alex, right? Emily's rock. Handshake firm, eyes cold. That's me. Subtle jab. Heard things are rocky at work. His grip tightened. Rumors. Nothing more. But sweat beaded his brow. Suspense coiled, did he know? That night Emily exploded. Someone's leaking emails. Marcus thinks it's me. Is it? I asked calmly. No. Alex, if it's you. Denial, but her doubt mirrored mine. Moral conflict climaxed. Revenge felt intoxicating yet destructive. The payoff neared. I prepared the final leak. Full dossier to a major outlet. But twist brewed. Emily found my files, confronted me in the study, rain lashing windows. You did this, she accused, voice breaking. Yes. Cold resolve cracked. He destroyed us. No, Alex. We did. Revelation. It wasn't just sex. He blackmailed me, photos from a work trip. I stayed to protect us. Chuck jolted. Why not tell me? Fear. Shame. Layers peeled. Her motivation, survival, not ambition. Guilt flooded. My revenge targeted the wrong villain. But Marcus's pattern held. Twist deepened. As I hesitated, Marcus arrived unannounced, pounding the door. Emily, we need to fix this. Confrontation erupted. He barged in, face twisted. You leaked it, didn't you? Me. Adrenaline surged. You deserve it. He lunged, but Emily stepped between. Stop. It's over, Marcus. In the scuffle, truths tumbled. His desperation, her entrapment, my blindness. I shoved him out, but not before he snarled. You'll regret this. Poetic justice struck days later. The article exploded, naming him. Resignation followed, career in ruins. But unexpected consequence. Emily left me. Your revenge consumed you, Alex. I can't trust anymore. Heartbreak final, resonant. Alone in the empty apartment, I stared at that original text. Saved like a trophy. Victory tasted bitter, morally gray. Was it justice or mutual destruction? In the end, betrayal's scar remained, but revenge's echo haunted deeper. The pursuit had changed me, a shocking twist. The real monster stared back from the mirror.